like that. Yeah. William the Conqueror led the attack. Yeah. King Harold died in battle, that's a fact. Yeah. The loyal baron signed a feudal pact. Yeah. Battle of Hastings. Tapestry. Its length in meters measures 70. Embroidered linen tells a story. Of feats of William, Duke of Normandy. So girl, no man of vision, but feudalism. 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 No man of vision, 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 no man of vision. Vous êtes fini? Oui. Vous êtes fini? Oui. That year on Christmas Day, yeah. William was coronated, he would reign, yeah. 21 years playing the feudal game, yeah. He made a tax record called Domesday, yeah. William the Conqueror, so a girl, no man invasion, but feudalism. No man invasion, but feudalism. No man invasion, but feudalism.
All right, I'll probably stop it there, but I'm hoping you guys enjoyed it. I also kind of hope you cringe because you know I kind of like it when I embarrass you guys. But we are going to talk about William the Conqueror today among some other things. So if you would like, I really hope that made you cringe, actually. I changed my mind. Hello, global students. How are we today? If you guys would like to open up your notes, we are going to talk about power struggles today. I'm going to move this. Hold on one second. And voila, here we are. Here are the notes for today. The PowerPoint. Please make sure you make a copy of the note sheet and you can write all these down. So sorry, friends. You know how I love GIFs and fun moving pictures for each lesson that we do? Had a hard time with this one, so they're not going to be as on point. So I do apologize, but I'm going to try my best. So yes, power struggles in the Middle Ages. You learned all about the church yesterday and how powerful it was in feudal society, Middle Age society. What we're talking about is, does that power remain uncontested? Or will other people respond to it in a negative way and try to take power? And we're going to specifically talk about England. Side note, if you want to listen to that bop again, I included it in the slideshow. You are welcome. All right, so let's get going. Time to talk about England. Now, you guys know I love English history. Remember I told you that amazing story about that king who had 6 wives? And I wrote like this whole big paper on it. I love English history. So I'm super excited to be able to share this kind of stuff with you. Specifically, we're talking about how nobles, the king, the church, they're all going to start to tread on each other's territory, I guess you want to say, in terms of they're going to start fighting with each other. You're going to see that conflict come up between them because they're trying to each do their own thing, right? The church has a certain amount the church has taxes they want to impose and certain laws they want to follow. Nobles have their own taxes and laws, and they're starting to get on each other's nerves a little bit. Again, so sorry, could not find anything to relate, but I did pretty well on my next slide because kings are starting to want to increase their land possession. And I want to take this and go back to the question. We've talked about this question a bit in Global 9, and it's something you're always going to have to ask yourself pretty much throughout life, honestly, where is it human nature to always want more? A lot of these kings aren't happy with what they have. They're not happy answering to the church and looking at the church with their wealth and their laws. A lot of kings look at that and say, well, I want more. I want power and prestige like the church. They'll look at other kings and say, well, why do they have that land? I want that land too. And all these kings start wanting to increase. They want more and more and more. Hate this guy, right? My fans who watch the show, ugh, horrible. So what are these kings going to do when they want more stuff? Well, they're going to make sure that they're really tight with the middle class, because that's super important. Because when they're really close to the middle class and they get that sense of loyalty, you're going to find people who are going to want to fight for you. Kings will also then start to undermine that whole church system, the feudal system. They want to get rid of serfs and peasants being loyal to lords only. No, I'm the king, be loyal to me. And finally, they're going to start setting up different justice systems which protect individual rights. And we're really going to see the feudal system start falling apart under this dude. And his name is William the Conqueror. Woohoo! So, I have a couple links up here for you guys. We're not going to go all over them right now. If you click on this, it's an article to a history page. Hold, please. So it's a history page called The 10 Things You May Not Know About William the Conqueror. And it's all these really cool facts, and it kind of gives you like his personal background. Whoa, drama tea. And like it'll give you more of an understanding of where he's coming from. So take a little bit of time and take a look at the 10 facts. I think this is actually kind of interesting as well. And then if we go back to our PowerPoint, can I move this? Yay! I don't have to keep pausing. We're going to come to this video. Now, I'm going to play you a little clip of this video. I think this video is very funny. I think it's very cute. I like the animation. And the beginning of it is a nice recap of feudalism. But just for now, we're going to focus on what William the Conqueror did in terms of changing the course of England during the Middle Ages. So, oh, I have so many videos up. All the, you know, I'm a YouTube fan. Oh, I have to extend. Hang on. Yeah, movie magic yet again. All right, let's take a look at this video.
The changes in power and land ownership needed to be recorded and confirmed. In 1085, William launched a massive undertaking, a survey.
He basically invented market research.
It was known as the Doomsday Survey because the lists were so detailed, it was as if God was carrying out his last judgment on Doomsday. Doom was the English term for judgment or law.
The survey was completed in less than a year. It was a record of who owned what in virtually the whole country. It was really easy when they got to me. The country was divided into 7 circuits, and the visits began. Commissioners toured each circuit and asked a bunch of questions about land ownership and changes across the period 1066 to 1085. Tenants-in-Chief verified the returns to make sure they were an accurate record. The survey didn't cover the whole country. Some areas weren't fully under Norman control yet.
The survey was an important part of Norman control, and it allowed William to charge rent and tax people more efficiently. Now he could pay for that expensive army.
Considering he couldn't read and couldn't speak English, he was pretty organised.
He was tremendous.
Aye, he was so tremendous that at his funeral, his body couldn't fit into his coffin and it exploded.
Wow, yikes.
Mourners ran because the smell was so rancid.
Interesting anecdotes, peasant. For that, I shall not torture you.
Thanks. Here's a summary sheet.
And we're going to pause it there because I actually want to talk about this. So, William the Conqueror claims England. So you might hear things about like Normans or Normandy. Basically, for our intents and purposes, consider that he basically came from France and conquered England. That's why he didn't even speak English at the time. But even though he conquered a country he didn't speak the language of, he was actually a pretty influential leader in that he changed a lot of stuff government-wise. So because he needs money to control all his territories, his armies, his castle, he did that whole taxing situation, which we'll talk about a little bit more with the Doomsday Book. But through all of that, through this need for updating because of a financial need, because he wanted money, he changes the feudal system, especially in England, right? And you're going to start to see those changes start to spread out throughout Europe. Okay, so actually let's go back and talk a little bit more about that Doomsday Book right now. Pause. We're back. So that Doomsday Book is basically like a census in terms of it's going to take an inventory of people, castles, fields, and property. Who owns which land, how many people are on the land, what are you doing with this land, what are you making, what are you growing? It's just like all the info of what's happening within the country. And then with that information, he used it to tax people fairly, which is actually, I mean, no one likes taxes, but better to be taxed fairly than unfairly, I guess. And most importantly, he's going to make all of these people swear loyalty to him. You must be loyal to me, William the Conqueror, not these lords who you used to be absolutely loyal to. It's me. I am the ultimate authority in this country. And because of that, he has the final say in everything. Anything that changed had to get approved by William first. All right, and we're going to finish up with our last slide. Maybe not. There we go. Okay. And finally, a big power struggle, or I guess basically a really big change you're going to see, is you're going to see the establishment of common law in terms of you're going to have the same laws for everybody now. And there's going to be a court system, and they're going to keep records of what's happening. So you might even start to see now, like, this system of precedent taking place. Well, if we look back in the court records, we did this with somebody, so maybe we should do that again to be fair. And you're going to start to see a lot of similarities between the judicial system back then and now. Of course, we all know about the 12 people who serve on a jury. Of course, back then it was only 12 men, and it looked a little bit different, but it's that same concept of 12 people being called into court and helping the court in some way. Although that definition might change. And finally, and what you're going to read all about tomorrow is the Magna Carta. Magna Carta. I don't know why I said it like that. Not Aaron Carter. Magna Carta. And basically, it's a document. It's basically a law that deals with limiting power of monarchs. So we're going to see another struggle with monarchs gaining more and more power, then all of a sudden, bam, we're limiting it. We have to like put a cap on this power. And that's something you are going to learn all about tomorrow. See, coming soon. All right, friends, and that's all I have for you. Really interesting stuff. William the Conqueror was a really interesting guy, so I really do recommend you checking out this link, checking out the video, and like doing some of your own research and talk to us about it. Guys, email us. You find something really cool? Let us know. Maybe you'll get a shout out in our next video or something. We gotta make this fun, folks. It's awesome. Anyway, hope you're all doing well. We miss you so much. And stay healthy, people. All right, talk to you later. Bye.